Hi girls, next we are going to see about projectile under an angular projection. Here projectile is nothing but a body which is projected from a particular place, that is projectile is nothing but a body, and so here this is otherwise called as oblique projectile. And for example, water ejected out of a hose pipe held obliquely and a cannon fired in a battleground, that is cannon, Tamil it is called as Birangi. And so the fired, if it is fired in a battleground, that is an example for oblique projectile. And when you see this diagram, here the object is thrown from the point O and u is the initial velocity, and at the point O it is resolved into two components, horizontal component and vertical component. Ux is equal to u cos theta and uy is equal to u sin theta, and after reaching certain height, now ux is equal to u cos theta remains same wherever the point is. So at 0, at O, that is at O, at A, and after reaching the ground, everywhere ux is equal to u cos theta will remain in the horizontal direction, and there is no change in the magnitude, but only uy will vary. That is at the point A, uy is equal to 0, because at a maximum height the velocity becomes 0 and it begins to fall under gravity. After hitting the ground, ux is equal to u cos theta and uy is equal to minus u sin theta, because when you resolve theta, the minus u sin theta is in the downward direction, so it is given negative sign. So there also the velocity is resolved into two components. And here when you see the explanation, we are considering an object thrown with initial velocity u vector at an angle theta with a horizontal, and this u vector is resolved into that is you are writing in component form. U vector is equal to ux I cap plus uy j cap, and here ux is equal to u cos theta and uy is equal to u sin theta, the horizontal and vertical component. And here at the maximum height, I have told you the velocity of the velocity becomes 0, and next where there is no acceleration along the direction, that is along x direction, because it is only vertical acceleration and there is no acceleration along the x direction. Here the horizontal component of velocity remains the same till the object reaches the ground. This is very important. And when you see after the time t, the velocity you can calculate vx is equal to ux plus uxt. Here we are using the suffix as x because it is in horizontal motion. So for horizontal motion you should write the suffix as x, and for vertical motion the suffix should be y. And so here in the horizontal direction there is no acceleration, so the second term becomes 0 and vx is equal to ux, which is equal to u cos theta. Next we are going to see about horizontal distance travelled by the projectile in time t, that is given by the formula Sx is equal to uxt plus half axt square. Here since it is horizontal direction, the distance can be taken as x, and you know ux u cos theta, and there is no acceleration along horizontal direction, and so ax becomes 0. Substituting these values, you will get x is equal to u cos theta into t, or t is equal to x by u cos theta. For the vertical motion also you can write Vy is equal to Uy plus At. Here Vy is equal to Uy becomes u sin theta since it is in vertical motion, and Ay is equal to minus g because the acceleration is in the opposite direction. So now Vy is equal to, substituting this, Vy is equal to u sin theta minus gt. Now next we are going to see about vertical distance. For that you change the suffix as y, and here the vertical distance you can take as y, and uy is equal to u sin theta because it is vertical distance, and ay is equal to minus g. Substituting these values, you will get y is equal to u sin theta t minus half gt square, and substituting t, you will get this equation y is equal to u sin theta into x by u cos theta minus half g x square by u square cos square theta. Here sin theta by cos theta will become tan theta and u get cancelled. So you will get equation 231, and this resembles the equation of inverted parabola. So from this diagram you can see the motion is like inverted parabola. So the path followed by the projectile is an inverted parabola. Next we are going to see about maximum height. So maximum height means here in this diagram at A it reaches the maximum height, and so what is the maximum height from the ground, that we shall see as h maximum. So what is maximum height? The maximum vertical distance travelled by the projectile during its journey is called maximum height, and this is got by the equation v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Since it is vertical part, you substitute the suffix as y, and you know here Vy is equal to 0 because at maximum height the velocity becomes 0. So Vy is equal to 0 and Uy is equal to u sin theta and A is equal to minus g, S is equal to h maximum. Substituting these values you will get, now the equation becomes 0 is equal to u square sin square theta minus 2g h maximum, and bring that to the left hand side, you will get h maximum as u square sin square theta by 2g. Next we are going to see about time of flight, that is how many seconds it will take to reach the ground, that we are going to see. So the total time taken by the projectile from the point of projection till it hits the horizontal plane is called time of flight. Here since it is in the y direction, time of flight, you can write the suffix as y. So Sy is equal to uyt plus half ayt square. Here there is no displacement in vertical direction, or there is displacement only in horizontal direction. So y becomes 0, Sy is equal to y becomes 0 and uy is equal to u sin theta. Since it is against gravity, ay is equal to minus g, and let t is equal to tf. Tf is nothing but time of flight. Substituting these values, you will get 0 is equal to u sin theta tf minus half g tf square. From that tf can be represented as 2u sin theta by g. And next, horizontal range, that is how far that is the distance between the point of projection, that is where it is projected, to the point where it reaches the ground. That distance is called horizontal range, and in this horizontal range the initial velocity remains same. So here usually what is distance? Velocity into time. So range r is equal to horizontal component of velocity into time of flight. Since the displacement is along x direction, you should take only the horizontal component. So here r becomes r is equal to u cos theta into 2u sin theta by g. And you know already according to trigonometry, 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to sin 2 theta. Substituting that, you will get u square sin 2 theta by g. And so here the range is inversely proportional to acceleration due to gravity. And suppose if you want to find out the maximum possible range, then sin 2 theta must be equal to 1. So that is possible only when 2 theta is equal to pi by 2 or theta is equal to pi by 4, that is for an angle of 45 degree. So if the projectile is projected at an angle of 45 degree, it will attain the maximum range. So the equation now becomes r max is equal to u square by g, since sin 2 theta is equal to 1. Next we are going to see about degrees and radians. Usually degrees are measured for linear motions and radians for circular motion, and radians are used in measuring area, volume and circumference of circles and surface area of the spheres. And we shall see what is a radian now. Suppose in this diagram, if the length of the arc is equal to the radius, you see r as radius, also r is the length of the arc, that is both are equal. In such a case, the angle subtended at the center is called angular that is 1 radian. That is, if you see it, 1 radian is angle subtended at the center of a circle by an arc that is equal in length to the radius of the circle. So here the main condition is arc length must be equal to radius. So theta in such a case is said to be 1 radian. And here already you have seen the relation 360 degree is equal to 2 pi radian in the first chapter. So what about 1 radian? 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi degree, and usually in degrees it is 57.27 degree. And the next topic is angular displacement. For that, in this diagram you take a particle, and this particle is moving in a circular path, and A is the initial position, and after a certain time it reaches the point B. Now the 2 points meet at the point O, and the angle subtended by these 2 positions is equal to angular displacement. And so here V1 and V2 are the velocities at points A and B, and the velocities are usually drawn as a tangent. And let here R is the radius of the circular path and S is the length of the arc. And here in this case, what is angular displacement? The angle described by the particle about the axis of rotation in a given time is called angular displacement. So actually displacement is in linear motion, angular displacement is in rotational motion. So here usually the angular displacement is given the symbol theta and its unit is radian. And so from the diagram you can say theta is equal to S by R, or S is equal to R theta. Here S is angular displacement, R is the radius of the circle, and theta is the displacement. And next, angular velocity, and already have studied that the rate of change of displacement is velocity. Here also just you add angular because it is circular motion. So the rate of change of angular displacement is called angular velocity. So omega is the symbol for angular velocity, which is given by limit delta t tends to 0, delta theta by delta t. In differentiation form you can write d theta by dt. This is similar to the equation V is equal to ds by dt. So V is linear velocity, whereas omega is angular velocity. And here the unit is radian s power minus 1, and the direction of angular velocity is found by using right hand rule. And here this is the diagram for the direction of angular velocity. Here the axis of rotation itself is nothing but the direction of angular velocity. And next, angular acceleration, and this is also similar as in linear motion. The rate of change of angular velocity is called angular acceleration. So here alpha vector is equal to d omega vector by dt. Here omega is nothing but angular velocity and alpha is angular acceleration. This resembles the equation A is equal to dy by dt, and this equation is for linear motions. Next is tangential acceleration, that is the acceleration along the tangent. Here when you see this diagram, the two positions of the particle is shown, and here delta s is the distance travelled by the object in a time delta t, and the angle subtended at the center is now delta theta. And so here when you see this diagram, you can write delta s is nothing but r delta theta, and divide this by delta t. So delta s by delta t is equal to r into delta theta by delta t. Here when limit delta t tends to 0, you can write this in differentiation form. That means ds by dt is equal to r omega. Omega is angular velocity, which is nothing but delta theta by delta t. And what is ds by dt? ds by dt is linear speed. So this equation becomes v is equal to r omega, and v is linear velocity, r is the radius, and omega is the angular velocity. And in vector form you can write this equation as v vector is equal to omega vector cross r vector. This is in vector form. And you write now acceleration. How can you find out acceleration? Acceleration you know dv by dt, and so dv you know r d omega, so r d omega by dt, but d omega by dt is equal to r alpha, because alpha is angular acceleration. And so when delta t tends to 0, dv by dt becomes now alpha, that is since it is along tangential, at is equal to now r alpha. Here at represents angular, that is at represents tangential acceleration, and r is the radius, and alpha is angular acceleration. Alpha d omega by dt is the angular acceleration alpha, whereas dv by dt is tangential acceleration. So in this case dv by dt is tangential acceleration, whereas d omega by dt is angular acceleration. So in this case you can write at is equal to r alpha. So when you see in this diagram, here the direction of velocity and at are in the same direction. So Now, the tangential acceleration is in the direction of linear velocity. So what is tangential acceleration? Which acts along the tangent. Hope you understand, girls.